Good afternoon. This morning I went to Buckingham Palace and I am forming a new government.
It's 4 years on from the 2019 general election.
And on Monday, MPs will arrive at Westminster to form a new parliament. And I'm proud to say that members of our new One Nation government, a people's government.
Just the week before, we had Johnson lying his way through the COVID inquiry, looking like a pasty substitute of himself.
I don't remember any particular complaints being raised.
We'll set out from constituencies that have never returned a Conservative MP for 100 years.
In the past 4 years, we've had 3 Prime Ministers, Johnson and this loony, who had a shorter shelf life than a lettuce.
Mr. Speaker, I am a fighter and not a quitter. I have therefore spoken to His Majesty the King to notify him that I am resigning as leader of the Conservative Party.
And this plank of wood, openly benefiting his own pocket and banging on about 5 priorities or something.
Hi everyone, I hope you had a happy Christmas.
5 pledges to deliver peace of mind. 5 foundations on which to build a better future for our children and grandchildren.
And so in this moment of national resolution, I want to speak directly to those who made it possible and to all those who voted for us for the first time and those whose pencils may have wavered over the ballot.
Yes, you bear the burden of that choice.
And who heard the voices of their parents and their grandparents whispering anxiously in their ears. I say thank you for the trust you have placed in us and in me.
And he certainly repaid that trust by being the most untrustworthy Prime Minister ever, lying himself silly over Partygate.
59 today, the occupant of this limo, ex-Prime Minister Boris Johnson. His birthday present, the House of Commons has tonight branded him a reckless and intentional liar. And the result?
The ayes to the right, 354. The noes to the left, 7.
Which means Boris Johnson becomes the first Prime Minister in British history to be judged by the House of Commons as a serial liar.
And we will work round the clock to repay your trust and to deliver on your priorities with a parliament that works for you.
And he parted away while we had to stay indoors during the pandemic. Let's see if we can get to the bottom of what happened during Partygate.
Could we maybe go over some of the things that you have said to us, which we do understand, which is a matter of record, and you could maybe help clarify some of them, because some of it I find very difficult to understand. Because first you said there was no rule breaking. That was right, yeah? Then you claimed you weren't aware of any of these parties. Then you said it was a work meeting. Then you said you were outraged by them. Then you said you were aware of these events, but they weren't against the rules. And finally, you admitted you were at these events, but you were so ignorant of the rules, you didn't realise you were breaking them. You do understand why the public has such difficulty with all this?
Yeah, of course, Pete.
Here's Keir Starmer making a speech looking back at the past 4 years of Tory rule, summing it up beautifully.
Yeah, I'm afraid the circus is back in Westminster again today. And people often say to me, all this is great for you, isn't it? But I have to say, honestly, no. Because it's not just politics, is it? It's the whole country. We're all stuck in their psychodrama, all being dragged down to their level. And that's what they just don't understand. While they're swanning around self-importantly with their factions and their star chambers, fighting like rats in a sack, there's a country out here that isn't being governed. A country that needs leadership. Public services crumbling. High streets stalked by antisocial behaviour. Families weighed down by the burden of higher mortgages. Nurses, teaching assistants, builders, drivers, shop workers, carers, people who never before missed a payment in their life, working harder than ever for the wage in their pocket.
Click here for Johnson and Sunak lying their tits off about WhatsApp messages.